Hello my dudes, and welcome back to another video. My name is Siana, and today we are doing a 24-hour island challenge here in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Recently, when I could not sleep at like 3 a.m, I stumbled across a video by a creator called Pupplyn where they restarted their island and tried to finish it in 24 hours. A couple other creators have done this challenge, and I just thought it would be such a fun thing to try out. So we're here on Waffleaf, my forever island today, and we're going to be seeing how much of our island we can finish / decorate in 24 hours. I'm not going to be restarting because again, this is my forever island, but I haven't really touched this island at all. So we're gonna see how far we can get in 24 hours. Okay. Now the goal obviously is to finish my entire island in the 24 hours. I'm kind of just running around this front area and showing you my map to show what's already done, which is basically nothing. I have not decorated at all on this island, so we're going to start with the entrance. I started building around 5 o'clock, but by the time I took a screenshot on my phone, it was 5:18. So more or less, we're going from 5 p.m. whatever day this was to 5 p.m. the next day and seeing how much we can get done. I wanted the theme of this island to be something that I was comfortable with so that I could decorate it quickly, but I also wanted to do something slightly out of my comfort zone. So I picked a rustic small town theme for this version of Waffleaf. I do rustic natural builds all the time, but adding in like the road and more city elements makes it a little bit difficult for me, but I really wanted to try it, so that's what we did today. But for the entrance, I wanted to do like a bus stop situation kind of thing, but I didn't have the items for it, so I had to go really quickly to a treasure island. I do a couple treasure island trips during the 24-hour period, which took so long. The time I resumed this build, it was 7 p.m. I wasted a lot of time at treasure islands. Don't come for me. I hate how long treasure islands take. They're still so convenient just getting to get any item that you need. But like I said, I wanted to do like a metro-y bus stop, rest stop sort of situation here for the entrance. I have tried my hand at a city core island before, and that did not last long before I ended up deleting it because city core and doing stuff like that is just not up my alley, but I really wanted to try it again. I set a little bus stop trying to build like a mini gas station, and I think both of these builds turned out fairly okay. They're not the best, obviously, but like we're working with what we have. We're working with the time that we got, and so I'm trying to focus on not making everything perfect, but just making everything okay. It's just gotta look okay and complete. That's it. That's the goal. Normally when I'm building, I have a pretty like not set method, but like I know what I'm doing when I go into a build. I have a whole plan. Normally I go in with trees and custom designs first to fill the space, put in our items, and at the very end I go back with flowers, weeds, and more custom designs to just act as filler. While I was building and working on this entire island though, that method, that step-by-step process just didn't happen. I was all over the place with everything. Things were happening at different times. It was very like not cohesive. And I think it's just because I went in with like a general plan of what builds I wanted, but I didn't have an actual idea of what they were going to look like. So we're just winging everything. This video is going to be a little bit on the longer side, and I don't want to talk your ear off for like the entire video. So I'm going to go back and forth between making comments about the builds and kind of just like discussing everything with you and just letting you vibe to the lo-fi. The lo-fi is by Demongummies. Check them out. I love using their lo-fi so much. This next build that you're gonna see is just gonna be a little mini park. There's just like a little picnic spot, a picnic bench. This was kind of a bit of a filler area, so I just threw some random stuff down, but I'm just gonna let you vibe for a little bit while the music plays. had stopped recording and it was around 10 p.m. when I resumed, but off camera I did build this little like library thing, like a library on the beach, library on the pier, I don't know. And then I also filled in a couple of spots just right in front of resident services. And the next build that I was going to do was going to be a food truck market. I thought this would take up a good amount of space near resident services, and I thought having it just like right near the entrance kind of made sense. Like you come onto the island and you've got some food, you've got a couple places you can sit and eat and just hang out. When I was thinking of builds to do for this island, I was also just thinking of what would take up space, like what would be good filler builds. Even though this is not as big as I was anticipating making it, I expected to make this like food truck area a lot bigger and to have a lot more food trucks and a lot more like sitting areas, eating areas. I don't know why I ended up making it this small. Honestly, I could not tell you, but I do like how it came out. And honestly, it was easy enough to build. It's not, again, not the best. Nothing here on this island is going to be the best. Every build is going to be pretty simple, but complete nonetheless. And also, before I forget, I should probably tell you, I did not play for like 24 hours straight. So I'm putting the times on the screen periodically just to show you at what time I started which builds. But I did take breaks in between play sessions. I did sleep, I did eat. I think I went outside once during this period. So this is not just like 24 hours straight. I probably could have gotten a lot more done if it was 24 hours straight, but that would have really burnt me out. So there are breaks in between all these builds. Okay, yeah, just had to put that out there. We are coming to the end of the food truck area here, and I did a quick little run around just to make sure that everything looked okay. I'm not going to be doing a little run around of every single area that we build, just because there is going to be a final tour of the entire island at the end of the video, but periodically I'm just going to show you how things turned out. The next thing I'm building is a mini soccer field, which did not turn out great. To be totally honest with you, I kept it here because I'm not going to restart the build because I just wasn't going to do that for a 24-hour challenge, but I don't love how this turned out. I think it needed more clutter. I think I don't know, something about the way that the actual like soccer sand pit area, what do you call that? Soccer field? The way the actual soccer field itself looked did not turn out on my island as it did in my head. I did not love it. I feel like I've seen a lot of really cool like sport fields, sport arena sections on people's islands, and they look a lot better than this. So if you've ever built like a sports section, specifically a soccer field, let me know what items you used and how you did it to where it looked, I don't know, good. I just feel like mine didn't look that great, but that's what we're building here. And then there's also a house exterior that's like right to the left of this. You've probably seen it. It's this bright red house. I don't know whose exterior that is, but we do decorate that as well. It's a very tiny spot, so they don't get a lot of space. I feel sorry for whatever villager lives there. They don't have a lot of furniture or anything outside of their house, but that's okay. They can exist. They can live. They're gonna be fine. It was around 11:30 p.m. where A, I was getting kind of tired of playing Animal Crossing, to be completely honest with you, and B, we started working on Lopez's exterior. I gave him a very natural exterior. He's got a little like honey farm. I think he's got like some farming stuff, which kind of makes sense because the farm is going to be directly to the right of his house, which is right in front of my house, and that's what we're building next. So you're gonna see that in just a few minutes. But yeah, this is Lopez's exterior. Again, honey farm, little farming plots. I think he has a dog house and like a sitting area. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy, nothing that I had to really like rack my brain that hard to build, which was a good thing because I was getting really tired and I was starting to feel a little bit of the burnout that I was expecting to. Honestly, even though I said this island was gonna have like a small town feel where I use that road code a lot, I don't end up using that road code from the very beginning, like the one from the entrance. I don't use that again. That was the only time we used it, was around resident services. For the rest of the builds, I used these rock codes, little flower filler codes, and the path code. I think it's just because it's so much easier for me. It just comes easier to my brain to do natural pathing instead of having it all like very laid out. And I don't know what the word is. I'm pregnant. I can't think of words right now. Pregnancy brain. But it's easier for me to make a cohesive island when I can use like winding paths, and it just feels a lot easier to me than making like straight roads. Why? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I just realized that I literally did not use the road code in any other build. So that's fun. But listen, I think this looks better anyway. I think it looks better anyway, so it's fine. Okay, so after we finished Lopez's exterior, like I said, we're gonna be working on the farm, which is just my house exterior. There's nothing really to talk about, nothing too crazy. It's a farm. There's lots of farm items from the 2.0 update that happened however many years ago that was now. But that's the next thing that we build, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you chill and listen to the music while I go ahead and build that. It was around 1 a.m. when I got tired enough to turn off Animal Crossing for the night. I finished the farm, thankfully, but it was 1 a.m. It was time for bed. This is what the map was looking like the next morning, and at 10 a.m. I logged back on. This was actually a lot later than I was wanting to get on. I was hoping to start filming around like 8 a.m. so we can get a little bit more of the island finished, but that's okay. We ended up filling in this transition kind of area that's right behind and to the right of resident services. Honestly, we didn't do anything super special with it. I've done builds and little picnic spots slash dining spots. I don't really know what to call it, but I've done spots like this on probably every single island I've ever done. They're just super easy and they take up just a bit of space. You know, when you have those spots on your island where you don't need like a whole build, but you need a big enough amount of something for it to be a little more than just a typical transition area. That's kind of what this area was. So I wasn't quite sure what to do with it, but we did what we normally do. Okay, picnics. I love picnic blankets. I love making picnics in Animal Crossing. I feel like if I ever need an idea of what to build or just ever have a spot that looks a little bit empty, I'm like, just throw a picnic blanket down and you are fine. You are golden, you are set. And we are moving right along here to Blather's exterior. I wanted to give Blather's like a little researchy area. Again, I'm gonna keep saying this throughout the video, but it didn't turn out exactly on my island as it did in my brain. But I wanted to give him like a little research, nice, relaxing, calming area. So I did give him like a little makeshift shed. I threw down a couple bugs, a couple fish. I think I have some books and stuff just like thrown about as well, just to make it look like he can step out of his tent and look at any creatures, study them, read about them, write stuff down, do whatever he needs to do in order to be the genius that he is. Blathers is my favorite NPC, by the way. Let me know in the comments, who is your favorite NPC? I don't think Blathers is a very popular one. I really don't. I feel like the most popular answers are either like Celeste or Kix is pretty popular too. I don't know, but Blathers is my favorite. I love the man. I think he's so cute. After Blathers exterior, we work on the spot right behind it. You can kind of see it in the background right now, but it's the spot with Nook's Cranny and Able Sisters. So we work on that little shop area. It's quite a small space, so we didn't get to do that much with it, but I still wanted to make it look cute and like it connected with the rest of the island. So that's what we did next. When I again was thinking of builds that would take up a large amount of space, I immediately thought a lake. You know, you have to do a lot of water terraforming. It has to take up quite a bit of space. Honestly, I could have made the lake a little bit bigger and made it take up a little bit more space, but I had other builds behind it that I wanted to get done and complete and that I had ideas for. So the lake isn't huge, but we do have a lake here on Waffleaf. I made a little pier slash fishing spot for it. This is also where the campsite is going to go. So I throw the campsite down below the lake and throw a couple kids' tents up just to make it look like a whole camping section of the island. I definitely could have used some bigger items and done a lot more. But honestly, at this point, when I started the campsite building, it was like 3 p.m. I had been playing Animal Crossing for so long. I was so tired and I was honestly just so over it at this point. I did take a break from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. So I did have a nice little reprieve, a nice little break. But coming back, honestly, the 2 hours didn't really help. Coming back, I was like, oh no. we're back again. We're back again. We have a couple more hours to go for our 24-hour challenge, and I was just tired at this point. It was quickly running out of ideas. Like, I knew what I wanted to build. It's just like my brain was not functioning. But we had to push through. We had to keep going. So I had to collect myself. I had to find my chill, breathe for a second before we actually started on our next build, which is going to be a flower truck. I was gonna throw this in with the food truck situation that we did before, but I decided it was just gonna be easier to have it be its own thing. So I do this flower truck. To the left of it, we have a little flower, like not flower breeding thing, but like a flower farm kind of. And then we end up working on another house exterior that's right behind the flower truck. You can see it in the background right here. I don't know whose house that is. I think it might be one of the Eagles, not entirely sure. But he ends up getting like a basketball court and just some other random items thrown about. So I'll let you go ahead and watch that. To be totally transparent with you, this next house exterior is the last build that we did on this island. So did we complete the finishing my island in 24 hours challenge? No, we failed. But you know what? I think we got pretty darn close. I'll show you on the map later on just how much we got done, but I feel like we did pretty good. Okay, so this is the last house exterior. Whose house is this? It's a cute villager. I don't remember who. Don't remember who is even on this island at this point. I can tell you nothing about this island. I can tell you nothing about Animal Crossing. At this point, my brain is fried. But we do another classic picnic spot here. Had to do it, had to end with it. You know what though? I really like how this exterior turned out. I think it's really cute. Again, very easy for me to make. It just, I needed something that didn't require any brain power, and this was that. And alas, we had hit the 24-hour mark almost. You know what? I stopped at 4:38 instead of 5 p.m. because I couldn't do it anymore. But I outlined in red on the map everything that we finished in the 24-hour period, which honestly, pretty good if I do say so myself. Here is the final tour. I kind of already talked through the build, so I'm not going to talk that much about the actual builds itself. But the 24-hour process, I will just say I did get very burnt out playing. I think it was really fun to do this challenge and to have kind of like a theme that I hadn't done before. I had kind of done it before, but like not really, you know? So it was fun to just like have like a fresh new perspective on decorating in Animal Crossing and just to try something new. I think that having a timed limit for this island also challenged, not my perfectionism. I wouldn't say I'm like a perfectionist when it comes to Animal Crossing, but I do definitely have like a process that I like to stick to when I'm decorating. And that just did not happen on this island solely because we're focusing on time. We couldn't really go back and like redo things because there just simply was no time. I will say it is kind of cool looking back on this island and looking back at the builds and just looking at everything that we did and seeing how much can actually be done in a 24-hour period in just one day. Because I feel like usually finishing islands for me takes so long if I finish them at all. I'm a chronic restarter in Animal Crossing, so finishing islands, who is she? Who is that? I don't do that, not normally. But of course, this is my forever island, so I am going to be finishing and refinishing and redoing this island several times. But I just think it was really cool to show myself what can be done and that islands can get finished. You don't have to restart your island just because you're not, I don't know, just to have a change. Look at how big of a change happened in just 24 hours here on this island. Like, we can do this anytime we want. I probably won't be doing this again anytime soon just because, again, burnout, it was a lot. 24 hours is such like a short amount of time to stuff this much into an island, but it can be done nonetheless. Even though it tired me out, I think it was really fun to do. I would definitely recommend trying to see how far you could get in a 24-hour period in Animal Crossing. If you're looking for a bit of a challenge, if you're needing some motivation to finish certain spots on your island, or even maybe to finish an entire island. Like I said, because I was talking through the builds while we were doing them earlier, I don't have a lot to say about the builds, so I am gonna do my outro right now and just let you vibe for the rest of the video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it, because this video, it took a lot. It took a lot of energy, okay? Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you did enjoy, make sure to give the video a like and subscribe if you have not already. And I will see you so soon in the next video. Until then, stay safe and take care. Bye.